What is the Dell XPS 13 2-inch-1? Forget what you know about Dell's XPS range. The 13-inch 2-inch-1 is a return to the hybrid form factor last seen with the launch of the ill-fated XPS 12 in 2015. It's the thinnest Dell XPS laptop you can buy right now, and one of the lightest, but the eye-watering price and some exceptionally strong rivals, such as the Surface Pro 4 and 12-inch MacBook, mean that this 2-inch-1 doesn't have the appeal of the class-leading regular XPS 13. Much of the disappointment surrounds Dell's UK pricing strategy. In the US, the cheapest XPS 2-inch-1 costs a mere $949, £916 incorporated VAT, which is actually a bit of a steal, although that model has a cheaper, slower SATA SSD. Here, the lowest price is £1,349, which means expectations are higher. And, as you'll see, they aren't quite met. Dell XPS 13 2-inch-1, Design and Build. At first glance, you'd be hard-pushed to spot the difference between the regular Dell XPS 13 and this 2-inch-1. The same carbon fiber composite finish lines the wrist rest, and as in the XPS 13, it looks good. Also present is the same tiny bezel that makes this machine feel more like an 11-inch laptop than a 13-inch one, plus there's the chiclet, backlit keyboard. However, there are some significant differences. It weighs 1.24 kilograms, which sits bang in the middle of the lightest XPS 13, 1.2 kilograms, and the heavier touchscreen model, 1.29 kilograms. This might initially sound surprising, but it's worth remembering that the structural rigidity required to make a strong 360-degree hinge will always result in a more weighty device. Still, it does rather make the 2-inch-1 feel heavier than you'd expect for a laptop that's just 13.7 millimeters thick. It's only 160 grams lighter than the 14-inch Acer Spin 7, 2, which is arguably a better bang-for-buck laptop. The processor, more on that later, is cooled passively, meaning there's no need for bulky fans and vents. This means the outer shell feels robust, a feeling that's reinforced by the screen's Gorilla Glass coating. Around the edges of this super svelte device you get two USB Type-C ports. Not all Type-Cs are created equal, however. The port on the left is used for charging and can connect directly to a DisplayPort cable. You'll still need a multi-adapter dongle for this, though. The laptop won't be of much use hooked up to your favorite monitor if you're going to run out of battery. The port on the right supports full-speed Thunderbolt 3, so you'll be able to connect high-performance peripherals to your 2-inch-1. There's no regular-sized SD card slot here, but a microSD card port is included. I use a microSD card and an SD card adapter for my camera, so this wasn't an issue for me. But photographers who use ultra-high-capacity SD cards will, again, require a dongle, or need switch to the smaller format. Dell XPS 13 2-inch-1, Screen. There are two screen options available with the Dell XPS 13 2-inch-1. A full HD panel and 3,200x, 1800 QHD plus panel. My model is a US configuration that combines a Core i7 with a full HD screen. In the UK, you'll only get the full HD screen with the Core i5 model. The Core i7 options both get the QHD plus panels. Technically, the panel is very good, but it's ruined by over-regressive automatic brightness that can't be turned off. It uses content-aware automatic brightness, which turns the screen brightness up and down based on what's on the screen. This is a feature of some other XPS machines, too, although it isn't something I've noticed before using the 2-inch-1. Anyone who's seen this sort of dynamic contrast tech on a television will know how irritating it can be. And it's in full effect here. Switch from a dark web page to a light one, and for the next 5 seconds the screen will judder its way down to a lower brightness. Dell XPS 13 2-inch-1, Performance and Software. The XPS 2-inch-1 comes in two performance configurations: Intel Core i5 with 4 GB of memory and 128 GB of storage, or Core i7 with 8 GB of memory and 256 GB or 512 GB of storage. My recommended specification would be the Core i7 with 256 GB of storage and a full HD screen. But Dell hasn't made that specification available in the UK, so you'll have to pay the extra money for a QHD Plus screen even if you don't want it. The Core i7 7Y75 runs at a minimum speed of 1.6 GHz and will peak at 3.6 GHz. However, it won't be able to achieve the latter for very long because of the aforementioned passive cooling. It's surprisingly sprightly in short sprints. Opening web pages and loading photos is handled pretty quickly. Just don't expect to manage batch photo processing or video editing, it simply isn't designed for such tasks. The regular XPS 13 with its more powerful U-series processors is a much better bet. You'd be wise to uninstall the McAfee LiveSafe software that Dell continues to force upon users. Its tentacles go as far as installing itself onto your web browsers and popping up annoying notifications when you don't want them. There are other problems, too. Sleep and hibernation behavior is incredibly inconsistent, continuing a series of problems that's beset a number of Windows 10 devices over the past couple of years. It's been a particular problem for Dell on some of its XPS models, although this is the first time I've experienced it on a review unit. I'll put the computer sleep, but it will immediately wake up again, staying powered up while in my bag or sitting on my desk overnight. That results in huge battery drain, a toasty bag and a lot of eyebrow furrowing. Following the steps of troubled buyers before me, I was able to get the device to hibernate without sleeping at all, but waking up your PC from hibernation is far slower than waking it up from a sleep, something I find incredibly frustrating. What's the point of having a get up and go sort of device if you have to hang around for 20 seconds before